Hey, in today's video, I want to show you how you can add just 3 notes to your bass lines to create some really sexy blues bass grooves. I'll see you inside the lesson. Hey, it's James here from eBassGuitar. So believe it or not, there are 3 sexy notes that you can add to your blues bass lines which will make the world of difference. So if you're just starting out playing blues bass guitar, make sure you check this lesson out. So we've got a shorter format to lesson today which I'm experimenting with. So I'd love to get your guys' feedback. So please do let me know in the comments below if you like this shorter format. Also, I'm experimenting with a new bass setup here. This is a Sire PJ bass and I've strung it up with a set of Tomastic low tension flat wows. Just got it in passive mode, tone all the way turned down and using the P bass pickup here. So I'd love to know what you think of the sound of this instrument. Again, let me know in the comments below. As always, there's a completely free PDF which comes with this lesson. Click the link in the description below to download your comment. Let's crack straight on with it. So let's take a look at sexy blues note number 1. So throughout the whole of this lesson, we are going to be using a slow 12/8 blues in the style of Stevie Ray Vaughan in the key of G. Now this is the first bass line that we're going to look at, which sounds like this. So that is a 1-bar bass groove. So let's just take that apart. So we start off with this long G note, 1, and then just at the end of the second beat of the bar, we play a B, which leads us to the D on the third beat of the bar. So we end up with this, 1, 2, like so. And then on the fourth beat of the bar, we play 3 notes in that beat, or triplets, and the notes are an E, a D, and a B like this. So we end up with this. Now let's add that sexy bass note, and this can make the world of difference in blues bass guitar and across many other genres as well. So what we're going to do is just after the second beat of the bar, we are going to add in a B flat like this, which is going to take us to the B natural like that. So we're going to end up with this, bum, like that, 1, and that will land us on the D on the third beat of the bar, and that just adds that bluesiness to the bass line. Such a powerful tool when creating bass lines to go from that minor third to the major third. So we're going to end up with this bass line. So really experiment with that. So let's put it across the whole of the blues sequence now. I'm going to use a really standard turnaround at the end for the last 2 bars, which I'll put in the PDF, 2, which comes 3, with this lesson. 4. As you can hear, that's super effective, and this is the stuff I love teaching because it's so simple to implement in your bass playing. And if you want to discover more about this kind of stuff, make sure you check out my book, The Essential Guide to Blues Bass, which you can grab over at eBassGuitar.com and Amazon.com. So let's carry on. So we've discussed going from the minor third to the major third. Now let's add that second sexy note in, which sounds like this. So actually, let's start off with our core bass line, which is going to be this. And so that is simply using classic box shape stuff, 2 notes per beat to give us that really slow, shuffly groove. And that by itself is a cool bass line, which you'll hear all over the place. But the sexy blues note that you can add in here is going from the 7th to the major 7th, like that, to the octave like so, an F, an F sharp, and a G. So let's take it apart. Let's start off with the original bass line. So it's 2 Gs, and then 2 Ds, and then we go to the F, to the D, to F, G, like that. So it's this. Now to add that sexy bass note, we are going to add 3 notes in the 4th beat of the bar. So we're going to end up with this. Sounds so effective. I absolutely love it. And of course, we can take this riff throughout all of the 3 chords. So first of all, practice that round and round in isolation so you can get that under your fingers, and then grab out a blues backing track and try it along with it. So let's hear this in action. Guys, if you are enjoying this lesson, I'd love to ask you to like and subscribe to the eBassGuitar YouTube channel. The reason for that is we release a lesson designed especially for the beginner to intermediate bass player who wants to push their bass playing onto an advanced level every single week. And if you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon too, you'll be the first to know when it goes live. So far in this lesson, we've covered going from the minor 3rd to the major 3rd. We've covered adding or going from the 7th to the major 7th to the octave like that. Now we're going to add in sexy blues bass note number 3, and that is using a note called the flattened 5th like so, which is this note here. So if you're on the key of G, we're going to add in this note here. So let me show you the first bass line to get going with. So this is our core bass line. Classic box shape stuff like that. So what we're going to do here on the 3rd beat, we're going to play the 1st beat like this. Simple 2 root notes, and then on the 2nd beat of the bar, what we're going to do is we're going to play 3 notes. So we're going to go from a C sharp to a D like that, and then to an F. So we get this really bluesy bass line, like so. So we get this. And then the rest of the bass line, notice how it just adds in that wonderful crunchiness. And that's derived directly from a scale that you might know called the blues scale. So let's hear what this bass line sounds like in action. guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. Don't forget to download the free PDF so you can see everything we're discussing today written out in standard notation and tab. Also, if you're looking to push your blues bass guitar playing forward right from the ground upwards, inside the Bass Lab Plus, which is my private members community over at eBassGuitar.com, we have a full blues course to teach you absolutely everything you need to know to prepare yourself to play at a blues jam session. So there's a link in the description below where you can take that course down for a test drive completely free for 14 days. So click that link in the description below and I will see you for next week's lesson. Cheers, I've been James for eBassGuitar.com and I'll catch you soon.